Hi everybody, welcome to the Teacher Leadership Training course offered by the Leadership Society of Arizona. My name is Dr. Jacob, and I'm super excited to get going on this course with all of you today. This will be a unique course. One of the reasons why it's unique is because we're not actually going to try to teach you a new skill, to teach you how to teach in this course. What we really want to do is give you just some information and a new paradigm, I like to call it, to help you to understand different things that you might be able to do in the classroom and with your teaching. And hopefully, with whatever teaching style you have, with whatever you're doing currently in the classroom, you can integrate some of these ideas into your style so that you can improve your teaching and make your classroom the place that you want it to be. And so we tried to keep the lessons short. It's going to be a series of 9 lessons, and hopefully most of them will be under 10 to 15 minutes. And we'll just go through this and try to maximize the time that you have to implement these ideas and try to experiment with them in the classroom so that you actually, in the end of this, are able to see improvement and to see something that you weren't doing before that you like. So let's get going. This is who I am. I'm Dr. Jacob. One of the things you're going to notice with my credentials and my past experience is that I actually have no K-12 experience teaching. I did teach at Arizona State University for about 10 years. I taught in the Barrett Honors College, which is the top 10% of students at Arizona State University. And my main experience has been in helping large organizations all over the world in supply chain management, and particularly in being able to procure and manage different types of services. But you can also see that one of my main passions and one of the things that I have really loved doing in my career has been to actually mentor and help students develop leadership skills. And that's kind of why we made this course and why I really wanted to be able to offer this course to you is because my main passion is helping students and to grow and also to be able to develop. One of the other things that makes this course unique is what our course is based off of. Our course is actually based off of a proven business model that we've been implementing in the industry for more than 20 years now. You can kind of see the performance of it. One of the big things that we found is in implementing the model into organizations, doing very little, we have seen up to a 30% decrease in their costs and expenses. Saving an organization 30% by doing very little. Now that's amazing. And as we saw this and as we saw the efficiency of the model, we realized this thing has the potential of really also helping students grow as well. And as we went all over the world and did this, I realized we have to actually see how this will impact students. When we teach them the same correct principles and ideas, what will it do for their life? And so that's what we did at Arizona State University. We started this course. And the amazing thing we saw were 2 major things. One, we saw the stress level of students decrease drastically. And the second is we actually saw these students changing their lives on their own. Not because we taught them to do something, not because we're telling them to do something, but because they heard the simple ideas and concepts. They saw this paradigm shift that we were introducing them to. And it actually helped them to apply it into their lives in many different ways to help improve their life and add more value to society. This could be from students overcoming an alcoholic addiction, which we never talk about in the class, but that's how they applied the principles. Or it could be to getting their dream job, making Formula One cars or whatever it might be. We have seen students make such great changes in their lives in all aspects, whether it's their job, personal, or even with relationships. Seeing many students repair family relationships with their parents, with their friends, with their siblings. And so seeing such a drastic change, we realized we have to bring this down to the K-12 level. Not because we want to try to teach you how to teach, but because we're realizing that some of the new information and knowledge that we're getting from research in human development and people and management isn't quite being relayed down to the K-12 level. And so that's kind of one of the different things in this course is we're really just trying to expose you to this additional information and allowing you, just as the kids implemented it in their lives in the way that they wanted to and the way that they understood it, allowing you to be able to implement it into your teaching. Now, we realize that a lot of the things that we will teach, you might have learned. And so if you're hearing something that you can relate to, hopefully we give you some ideas that you can see different ways that you can actually implement it in your teaching currently. And hopefully we also relay something, one or two things that are new to you. Now, to be really simple and straightforward, which is the opposite of most college or professors that are teaching college classes, which is a joke. But to make sure it's simple, we're going to explain to you exactly what this paradigm shift is up front. So this whole course, we're actually going to be teaching you different ideas and information that's been discovered on this switching this paradigm. And so in business, the traditional paradigm was what we call management direction and control. Basically, to get workers to perform to their max level, what we are teaching them is actually, we're going to take all of you through telling you what to do, through controlling your actions, setting rules, and setting a structure up for you. We are going to push you all through the same hole. We want all of you to do the same things. We want to make sure all of you are performing well, and so we're actually going to make sure everybody does the same thing, everybody learns the same thing, and we're going to tell you exactly what to do every step of the way. Telling you when to do it, what to do, how to do it, exactly when to do it. And what the industry has found out is that this really didn't work. First, it increased the workload, meaning not only was it inefficient, it made you even do more work. Second, we found out it didn't work. Performance went down, and also what they're finding is that no matter how much they try to force workers to do things a certain way, to obtain a certain level of performance, they're starting to find out that they get no return on their investment. Meaning after they do all of this effort to get them to do something, the workers still are not doing it the way they want, these organizations want it to be done. So they found a new model. And this new model is what we call alignment. This model has been done by certain organizations such as Google and some very high-profile companies, but it really hasn't sunk into all business yet. But what it is instead of trying to push everyone through the same hole, this model is trying to shape the structure of the organization so that it aligns everybody in the right shape, in the right hole. So instead of trying to focus on changing the people, they're now trying to figure out who the people are quickly and align them in the right position with the right environment that allows them to flourish. And this is what the new model is. I usually call this model the no influence, mentoring or leadership model. And this is what we're going to go through, this paradigm shift in this course. One of the main influencers, if you can call it that, of shaping this model is Bruce Lee, one of my favorite martial artists. The reason being is Bruce Lee had this philosophy, and his philosophy, if you've ever seen Enter the Dragon, is I fight without fighting. That was his philosophy on martial arts. And what it really meant is, instead of trying to resist nature, instead of trying to go against people's natural tendencies, he wants to go around it. So when someone's trying to punch you, instead of trying to block it, he's trying to go around it. And then allowing their natural course of action to be able to allow him to win the fight. And this is also the same way with teaching. The new model, the new paradigm shift is teaching without teaching. Meaning, instead of trying to shove a lot of information at someone, instead of trying to make someone learn, instead, trying to understand who the child is, shape everything to be around the child, aligning the child in the right place in life. And the best example of this is with Bruce Lee and his son Brandon. You can see, even at a young age, Bruce Lee is trying to teach Brandon how to kick, how to fight, how to do martial arts. Well, why? The reason being is Bruce Lee realized, because he is Brandon's father, because he's seen tendencies in Brandon, he realizes that Brandon will be a great martial artist one day. And in alignment with Brandon's natural talents, that's where he's going to help Brandon develop. And this is the main paradigm shift with teaching, is that instead of the traditional model of trying to change the child, now we have a new paradigm of trying to identify who the child is and help them to grow. And this is what we are going to be discussing throughout this course. I was actually first introduced to this type of model with my family. You can see I'm right here. I was 13 years old at the time that my father made a big paradigm shift in our family, which was no rules. Now, how does a parent come to identify, especially having 8 children, that they need to eliminate all rules in their family? Well, it was simple. My father one day looked at my oldest brother, and you can kind of see my 2 older brothers. They're not very happy. The rule environment did not treat them very well. But my father, when my oldest brother got to be 19 years old, looked in his eyes and asked him, "You're an adult now. You're out of school. What are you going to do with your life?" And my brother looked at him with a blank stare. Nothing there. Had no clue how he's going to survive or how to make his own decisions in life. And my father knew right there he had made a mistake. All of the management, direction, control, all of these rules that he had put upon us, trying to force us to do things. Now, as my older brothers grew up, they no longer knew how to make their own decisions. They didn't develop the right skills in life. And so, my father said no rules. What does the no rules policy mean? It meant my youngest brothers could do anything they wanted. And in this course, I'm actually going to bring some of them in so that you can hear from their own words how this was. But for the longest time, we thought they would be spoiled, rotten, good-for-nothing brats, that they wouldn't do anything in life. They got anything they wanted when they wanted it. If they wanted to skip school, they could skip school even. They didn't want to do something, they didn't have to do it. And they got in the most trouble when they were younger. But an amazing thing happened as they got into their sophomore, junior years in high school. We started to see them do work. We started to see them study on their own, really try to excel in school. We started seeing them help out around the house more. They actually, as we have all grown up now, the youngest I believe is around 28, 29 years old, is the most responsible, most creative and innovative, probably the most successful out of the bunch. I guess that could be argued, but in my mind, they have been able to grow up and develop the quickest and be the most responsible with it. And so in seeing this and seeing what this model has done with my college students, it has really given me an understanding that this is a very good paradigm shift to make. This is something that can really help students out in their life. And that's it. So now we're going to start getting going with this model. And hopefully you enjoy this. At the end of each lesson, you actually are going to see an assignment that you can do, a way that you can implement the principles that you've learned in the lesson into your teaching. Thank you so much for being here, and we'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video and you want to see more, press the thumbs up button below and subscribe to our channel. And if you have any questions, please put them in the comments below and we'll answer them in future videos.